Hello everybody and welcome to this edition of On the Beat with KDJ. I am your host, Kevin Devaney Jr., and welcome to our weekly Hudson Valley boys basketball show on MSGVarsity.com and MSG Varsity Channel 614. We took a half of a week off as our cameraman Chris Karen went on vacation. He's back, he's tan, he's ready to go here for hoops. And of course, it's midterm weeks here in Section 1 and Section 9. So we're here at Rye Country Day High School, a private school in the area, one of the top private schools year in, year out, ready for their game as they take on Brunswick of Greenwich, Connecticut. So much in store today. We're going to talk to Matt Ryan, Iona Prep star. He's out for the year with a hip injury. We catch up with Matt Ryan, find out what the future holds for the star junior. We're also going to introduce you to some of our most improved players from last year. The guys who were role players last year, now the stars this season, our most improved list for each class in Section 1. And of course, we're going to catch up with the guys from Rye Country Day. Before we do that, let's jump off with our top plays from the past week.
Definitely jumpstarts us, just more confidence in the whole entire team, Now we know we can win big games and push forward for the future.
Lefkowitz shields the ball nicely as he receives the pass and then tosses one in.
We've been playing together for about 2 or 3 years now. We were a young team, so we kind of just know what to do, and when we play together, we get good wins.
Pass ahead, the layup goes down, Will Durkee connects, and the foul.
We committed to the glass, real proud of our guys on the defensive end, and that's why we've won 6 straight. It's all about these guys buying in and playing on that side of the floor.
Stein a little leaner, no, but the tip fittingly is going to end the first half.
Starters came in, we said, we can beat this team and we have to play together and do this.
The crowds were insane, the atmosphere was crazy, but I really liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun coming out here and playing.
Last year they gave me a little gimme, but hopefully if I get the chance to take a shot, I'm going to take it. Hopefully it goes down.
Here inside the gym at Rye Country Day High School, one of the coolest vantage points, places to watch a game. You lean up against this railing, you can check down on the action here as it's Rye Country Day taking on the Brunswick School in a big matchup in the FAA League. And we mentioned a very slow week in Section 1 basketball. Some teams over the weekend were traveling. One of those teams was Saunders out of Yonkers. They went out to Kentucky for the Toyota Classic and did very well, 1-2 over the weekend. A good tournament by Derek Felder, 14 points per game, 10 rebounds, and so same for Dijon Gonzalez, made all-tournament team in the 3-game Toyota Classic. Those games don't count towards Section 1 playoffs, but Saunders, as you'll see in bracketology in a moment, working their way up. Could be one of those teams could be seeking a home game in the second round. Another team that traveled, White Plains. They went out to Pennsylvania, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, their annual trip out to the home of the Little League World Series, and again, they came away with a nice win. And Jordan Tucker, 16 points, and he's, he had a little bit of a dip in the regular season. He's come on very strong. Big game out of him. Had buzzer-beating shots in the second quarter and third quarter, propelling them to a big victory over Williamsport. We talked about games last week in Section 1, and Tappan Zee went to Pearl River, and you thought this was going to be Tappan Zee's game, and instead it was Pearl River. And watch out for Pearl River. They came away with a 60-37 victory. Kevin Devaney from the opening tip of this game, they won the tip, they worked the ball to him at the top of the key, he knocked down a three-pointer, and I think it set a tone for the entire game. 22 points, 11 rebounds, 6 blocks. James Lenane continues to contribute and continues to improve. 12 points, 10 rebounds. Jack Burns, 6 points, 9 boards. We talked to Kevin Devaney afterwards about Pearl River. They shot 48%. Tappan Zee shot 21%. You're not going to lose very often, and Pearl River is very much on the rise.
I thought you could beat TZ. Did you think you'd beat them like this?
No, truthfully, I didn't think it would be like this. I knew it was going to be I thought it was going to be a close game the whole time, and I just thought our defense really was tremendous tonight, and that's what we had to win the game.
That first quarter, obviously you hit the big three to start this game, and I don't want to say the first basket decided a game, but that start something for you guys in the first?
Yeah, it's definitely big momentum for us, hitting the first basket and being a three. I thought it just gave the team more confidence in shooting their shots, and it definitely could make it for them making it as well.
Now, if you look at the Class A standings where you guys are in bracketology, you're in the middle. Do you guys feel like you guys are one of the top teams, even though you're kind of situated in the 8 to 10 range?
Yeah, I know we're a top team. You know, we had a couple bad losses, but I think now after this game we can really make a good push for the playoffs and hopefully County Center.
So Pearl River working their way up the Class A standings, and of course Eastchester is close to the top there, and they're really, I think right now, the team to beat. And Jack Daly, I think he's cemented himself as the most accomplished player in school history this weekend, becoming the school's all-time leading scorer. He did it on Friday night in a 90-60 win over Tuckahoe. He passed Dave Solano, a player who graduated 2 years ago, for the most points in school history, giving him over 1,231 points per year. That was a previous record held by Solano. Daly becomes the #1 all-time scorer in the school, and I love what he said afterwards. I talked to him after the game, and his quote was great. "It won't mean anything unless I'm standing with the gold ball in my hands at the end of the season, looking to make his mark on Section 1 basketball and, of course, on Eastchester High School basketball." Let's take a look now at the Class A standings in bracketology as they make our way to the postseason. Just 14 days left until the start of the playoffs. And here we go. #1 team in bracketology right now is Harrison. They have Byram Hills and Fox Lane left. Maybe a matchup with Woodlands. Going to be hard for them to hold on to that #1 spot. Eastchester #2. Their toughest game left is Woodlands. They should win their other 3. You have Panis. They have Putt Valley and Peekskill left. #4 is Lourdes. They have Arlington and Putt Valley left. Putt Valley's got a lot to say about this Class A rankings at the end of the season. And of course, we said Pearl River, the #7 team. They take on Tappan Zee next week. Byram Hills has 4 games left. Poughkeepsie, defending Section 1 Class A champions. They have a matchup with Peekskill that could determine their fate if they're if they have a home game in the second round. Saunders is the #10 team. Somers is #11. And there is Peekskill, your preseason favorite at #12 with just 2 weeks to go in the season. In Class AA, a team that's near the top of the standings is Manpack, and great job by RJ Martinez taking on his former squad at Carmel High School. Martinez moved from Carmel to Manpack over the summer for his senior year, and in his first game back against his former mates, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, and 4 assists in a 68-51 win. At home, it says a lot about the poise and confidence of him, and he'll be a major factor going into the postseason as Manpack looks to make it back to the county center for the 4th year in a row.
Don't overdo anything. Just go out there and let the game come to me, and that's what I did. And I didn't want to force anything too much.
You got that bucket early on in the game, maybe 2 minutes in. Did that help you kind of relax?
Yeah, absolutely. I knew I had to score a little bit, so I went out there and just shot, and I started hitting them, and it started feeling good.
And you're usually a pretty high energy player. Was there a little more today?
Oh yeah, absolutely. With this crowd and this atmosphere, it was out of this world. I loved it.
Take a look now at the Class AA bracketology. The team to beat, of course, sitting in the #1 spot, and that is Mount Vernon. They have a huge lead numbers-wise in bracketology. I don't envision them losing that #1 spot. #2 is Fox Lane. They have a chance to knock out that #2 spot. They have some tough games left. Clarkstown South is #3 for now. Manpack #4. White Plains is #5. And I say Clarkstown South #3 for now because they have another matchup with Spring Valley. Spring Valley knocks them off again. We can see the 3, 4, 5, and 6 spots being juggled around. We go down to #7. That is Arlington. #8 is Mamaroneck. Suffern is the #9 team. #10 is New Rochelle. New Rochelle is a very grueling schedule to close here. They could be falling out of the top 10 spots. #11 is Ossining, and #12 is Ramapo. And of course, the biggest news of the week in the Hudson Valley, Matt Ryan, Iona Prep star, really the best player in the Hudson Valley, done for the year, tore his labrum in his right hip. It was an injury that was nagging him for a little while. We caught up with Matt Ryan this week, and he is devastated about his season being over. Joined here now by Matt Ryan, Iona Prep, and Matt, it's been a rough couple weeks for you now, and really rough last week. When you learned you're out for the season, what was your reaction, and how disappointed are you?
Very, very disappointed, obviously, and my reaction was just, I was crushed at first, but after talking to some doctors and some coaches, just giving me positive messages, get healthy, and just I'm going to support my team any way I can. But obviously, I'm devastated I can't get out there and compete.
What was it like telling your teammates, your friends, and coaching staff that you were not going to be back for the rest of the year?
Yeah, after I found that out, I immediately came here, talked to Coach Vic. It was just one-on-one, me and him in his office, and that was the first time I broke down. It was like overwhelming to me to realize that I'm actually done for the year and most likely AAU too. So I didn't straight up tell my teammates, but they sort of caught the gist of it that I can't practice anymore and can't play in the games, but they know I'm still going to support them.
You have to be a little concerned, obviously, when you had Duke here and you had Notre Dame here and all the schools that have come to recruit you. What's been the reaction from them, and what have they told you about the injury and what it can mean for you moving forward as a recruit?
Yeah, well, of course they just said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," but their message was just get better. We're still on you. Offers stay the same, interest stay the same. it's probably going to prolong my recruitment a little bit just because they're not going to be able to see me play for a while. So those schools that you mentioned, they're still recruiting me. I know a couple are calling me tonight. Vanderbilt, North Carolina calling me tonight, and I'll be talking to Duke soon too.
What's going to happen with Iona Prep? They have a whole season left to play. They have the playoffs ready to come. I mean, how are these guys going to hold it together, and can they do something without you in the lineup?
Yeah, they're going to make a run. People, I think it might help them a little bit for the mindset. People are going to underestimate them, especially now Ty's out for a month with his he pulled something in his thumb. But the mindset, they're going to go out and try to beat everybody. They hung in there with Christ the King for a while, and then Christ the King just hit a couple shots that were tough shots. But they're going to compete. They're not going to shut it down, but it's going to be tough.
We're back here in the gym here at Rye Country Day High School, almost halftime here against Brunswick. And, you know, one of the things people talk about so much in basketball in this area is about who's the most improved player, who's the most underrated players. Well, I reached out to a lot of the coaches in our area, and I wanted to find out who the most improved guys are, and they gave us a good list. And one of these guys is right behind us, Salim Green of Rye Country Day High School. So a breakout year that he's having, now becoming a Division I recruit. Let's take a look now at the top improved players in Section 1.
You can't talk about the most improved players in Class AA in Section 1 and not mention Justin Tapper. White Plains had so many question marks coming into the season about rebounding, and Tapper has answered them all. He's been a major reason why the team is 12-1. His emergence is the key as they look to make a run at a Section 1 championship. Brendan Sunday of Arlington, a 6'5" junior. He barely played last year as a sophomore, and now Coach Matt Hoyt said he's the best big man he's coached in his 9 seasons. Over at Mamaroneck High School, Matt Bernstein does a little bit of everything, and his stats reflect it. Assists, steals, rebounds, blocks, and points. Matt Bernstein is a stat-stuffing machine, really emerged this season. Cameron Sierra has gone from being one of the most promising stars in Section 1 to being one of the most prolific scorers. 32 points in last Saturday's win over Scarsdale. Horace Greeley going to make a little bit of a late season run here, Sierra leading the way. And Kevin Jefferson, the junior from Suffern High School, he really burst onto the scene this summer and has been so good this year for the Mounties. We look now at Class A. Harrison sits atop the standings in bracketology, and Matt Stein is a major reason why. His confidence as a shooter and playmaker running the point has been a main reason why the Huskies are in the hunt for a title. Look at Beacon. Jair Willis averaged 1 point per game, less than a point per game last season. The 6'5" center has really developed, now averaging 12 points, 7 rebounds for the Bulldogs. Ryan McWilliams, talk about a guy under 2 points per game last season, now 17 points per game for the Dutchman. He's been just a turnaround star for Tappan Zee. And Will Sullivan, keep Will Sullivan on the radar. He was the 12th man for Saunders last year, now averaging 10 points, 8 rebounds per game, a 6'5" junior. He has room to grow as a player and also is supposed to get a little bit taller as a big man. Matt Stroud at John Jay, forget points. He barely played any minutes last year as a junior, now averaging 15 points per game this season as a senior. Mike Milligan of Nanuet, also one of the most underrated players, been so consistently between 15 and 20 points per game this season for the Golden Knights. And in Class B, a couple more names to throw out there. Mike Macchia of Irvington, 2 points per game last season. He dropped 25 pounds in the offseason, now averaging 13 points, 11 rebounds, a force in the middle for the Bulldogs. Jamil Gambari, maybe a little cheating here because he was pretty good last year, but now the 6'4" senior. They say he has springs for legs, a great dunker, his physical ability, he's made physical leaps and leaps as an all-around basketball player, has Woodlands as the top contender for a Section 1 title. Jacob Burke of Blindbrook, another guy, averaged 5 points per game last year, now second on the team with 12 points per game, but really has become their best all-around player, leading the team in assists and steals. And don't forget about Brandon Tate, Palisade Prep, adding that other dimension aside of Kevin Sabino and Isaiah Ward. Palisade Prep, a sleeper as we enter the final stretch here in Class B. Back here at Rye Country Day, where the Wildcats took a 7-6 record into a Fairchester League matchup against Brunswick. The Wildcats opened the season with 5 straight wins, but have struggled of late. They wouldn't struggle early on in this one. Salim Green pass ahead to Tyler Fernandez, who lays it in for the layup. Early timeout by Brunswick, and Rye Country Day is on top, 15-5. Later in the half, Fernandez picks up the loose ball, and check out the no-look pass ahead to James McPhail for the lay-in. Wildcats up 10, 23-13, 8 assists on the night for Fernandez. Second half and more Salim Green. Goes to his right, gets the contact and the score. The junior impressing. He had a game-high 31 points. But Brunswick wouldn't go away. Henry Taylor dishes the ball to Billy O'Malley for the layup. Brunswick got within 2 points late in the game, but this would be the dagger. Time running down in the shot clock. Fernandez pass back to Green, who knocks down the 3 and gets fouled. Green would complete the 4-point play. He and Fernandez combined for 45 points in the game, so Rye Country Day escapes with a 74-69 win over Brunswick.
Joined now by Tyler Fernandez. We know him as a scorer, but I think that pass you made to Salim Green was what really won that game. Just tell me what you saw there in that final play.
I mean, Salim was on all game, you know. He was hitting his threes, he's making all his shots. And, you know, this year when we got a guy that can score like that, I've been dishing a lot more instead of taking a lot of, you know, ill-advised shots. And he's knocking them down. So I saw him open, gave it to him, and he hit the big three to help put us ahead and win the game.
You're a 4-year player, last 2 years led the team in scoring, and now Salim's kind of taking a little bit of that role. How much has that alleviated the pressure off you this season?
Very much so. I mean, every team, especially the FAA teams, they come out. You know, sometimes they box in one, sometimes they put an extra guy on me. But it definitely helps now that Salim has taken that step forward and he's able to take some of the pressure that has been on me for the past couple of years.
Now as a baseball player, and you're, as you said, going to Cornell next year to pitch, and in a lefty, you know, good arm you have, and you know the pickoff moves and everything. But just as a baseball player in the last year, how much have you progressed, and how much are you ready to get at the next level?
I can't wait to get up to school. I can't wait to pitch at the next level. I've been working out every day, you know, come out, and then basketball practice, of course. I'm here getting my workout on, but I just want to finish this basketball season strong and then head right into baseball season and see what we can do.
And then you're finally going to graduate from Rye Country Day. I feel like you've been a varsity athlete here in 3 sports. Obviously, you didn't play football this year, but for 3 sports for 4 years, it's got to feel like, wow, I feel like I've been here forever.
There was actually a kid on Brunswick today. He goes, Fernandez, when are you going to graduate, man? You've been here for like 10 years. I was like, yeah, I know. He's like, this is my last year. Don't worry, you'll be rid of me after this.
So a big league win for Rye Country Day today. I mentioned they started the season with the 5 straight wins. They won the Horace Mann tournament, hit a little bit of a mid-season skid, but they seem to be back on track with a nice win over Brunswick at home here today. Salim Green, the main reason why, maybe one of the most improved players in the Hudson Valley, if not the most improved player, now a Division I recruit, leaps and bounds. He's improved since last season, according to teammate Tyler Fernandez. Big weekend ahead in Section 1. Teams get back off the books and onto the basketball court this weekend. Saturday, huge showcase at Beacon High School, the Coaches versus Cancer event. Coaches wearing their shoes, wearing sneakers with their suits for the games. Always fun to see that as they raise money for cancer awareness. 4 games at Beacon High School, the annual event run by the Lower Hudson Valley Coaches Association. The marquee game, I think, there's actually 2. I think Putnam Valley against Lower is a rematch of last year's Section 1 Class B championship. Lower is now in Class A. And then, of course, Class AA, Clarkstown South, taking on Beacon, the host team. Really good matchup of 2 teams in contention for section championships in their respective classes. Also, Mount Vernon High School hosting a Coaches versus Cancer event. Really starts on Friday with Mount Vernon hosting White Plains, the top 2 teams in Class AA in Section 1, and then 3 more games on Saturday at Mount Vernon High School. So that's all from here from Rye Country Day High School. I want to thank the school for allowing us to do our show here this week. I want to thank Tyler Fernandez for joining us, Matt Ryan for joining us, and of course Kevin Degnan for coming on the show as well. For Kevin Devaney Jr., for Chris Karen, our producer, I thank you for watching On the Beat with KDJ, and we'll see you next week.